Welcome to the practice hour for MotoGP, and already high drama has curtailed. Pecco Bagnaia has crashed out down at turn 1, the rear of the bike getting a little bit chippy on him, and he has gone down on the deck. He's okay, but the bike is going to require a little bit of work. It just got sucked in a little bit too much on him, and it cost several more problems. What a turnaround we are having. Sorry, we're slightly late on air once again. The systems are causing problems. Of course, we haven't used them in a month, so MotoGP's timings are a little bit off the pace. Alongside that, YouTube Live Studio just wouldn't go on. But welcome, we're back with you now. Bagnaia is in the pit lane, and he is going to get on the second bike and get ready to go back out. Luca Marini's top, 1:37.855. Miller, Alex Marquez, Binder, Zarco, Bezzecchi, Bastianini, Salvadori out there at the moment still on the running orders, as Marc Marquez, as many other of the field are now getting lap time deletions coming through on the monitors. That is all because of the yellow flags we had out down at turn number 1. So they'll get used to it, but the yellow flags have been brought out. Now, more timing issues are cropping up on the monitors, so we'll keep an eye on that one as it comes. But 55 minutes to go in total of this event as they will continue circulating through. Luca Marini, 1:37.855, still a decent amount of timings. Only 5 riders then officially with lap times now, as everything else getting cancelled by the steward. Marc Marquez comes in to the last corner and will begin to be booted away over the line. And Marc does a 5th fastest time on the board, which should hopefully work a little bit more, as hopefully we're going to sync up with the correct rider trackers at this moment in time. There is Jorge Martin getting ready to head back out on his bike. No time set yet, but let's go down and join Michael Laverty.
What conditions like?
Quite cold actually, Gav. There's not really, it's a bit of a wind chill. I was going to say it's cold, but that may have been a factor in Pecco's crash. Watching him into here, into the stadium section on his outlap, he was going, he was already pushing, wanting to be fast from the off, and I think he just got caught out a little bit. It locked so early, as you said, it was a weird crash. But yeah, when you stand here at 2 p.m. on an April afternoon in Jerez, you don't expect to have your jacket on, feel as cold as it is. Everyone in the grandstands around here, they're layered up. It is a great place to be out watching, and even here for a Friday afternoon, the stands are quite full. You've got the big screen here, and you've got the bikes right in front of you. It's noisy, it's loud. The MotoGP engine noise does reverberate right around this little infield section. But watching at the minute, listen to the first touch of the throttle. Every bike, they sound soft, they have to be. This is such a small racetrack for a MotoGP bike, but first touch of the throttle just building. Out of anyone, Pedro Acosta's probably the one who's got it moving most. He's trying to grab a little meter or two on the run towards turn 10. But yeah, getting it steering, getting it turned, first touch of the throttle, having the grip available. It's all to play for here this weekend, and making it work in this session, doing the race runs and getting that set up dialed for Sunday.
Thanks very much, Michael. Yeah, it's a great place to watch from. As I said before, myself and Neil went down there for a warm-up session. I can't remember who it was, a couple of years ago. And it's funny that Michael said it just then. It's too loud. Wasn't it? Yeah. We were sat there.
So loud.
And I'm just seeing those people there, and they will spend the whole weekend there.
And that is the beauty of this series. They will spend the whole time there, and they will love absolutely every single second of it, because that is the way that motorcycle fans love this event, and they will continue loving the event. And it just is a bigger push mentality out there as well. Still looking stronger as we continue on. Don't forget, this is going to be a very long hour in order for everybody just to make sure that they've got the right amount of fuel in, the correct setups. The top 10 from this session will automatically be taken through into the next part of qualifying. So all the way down to 10th position, as we said. Everyone outside of that will have to go through qualifying number 1, a further 15-minute sub-session in order to make sure that everything will be okay going forward. Plug saying as well, Bagnaia crashed turn 1. He had. Is he back out then on the circuit soon? I'm trying to have a look. No, his Bagnaia still down at turn 1. And the computer's put him down at turn 3, which is the end of that first mini sector where obviously he never got through. His bike is currently being set up. That is bike number 2 that he will have access for in the next part. Here's Jorge Martin coming now out of turn 10 through 11 and then 12 before the hairpin at 13. Controlling it nicely. The cloud cover's been like this all day though. Air temperature's at 20 degrees. Ground temperature, that's the track temperature, is at 25 degrees. 10 kilometre wind speed, now 11. Blowing in from the southeast. 67% humidity, as you'll see next up on the top of the screen where it continues through. Out of turn 13 now then for Jorge Martin. It will be over the line, and Martin's time and the gambit to begin with is a 1:37.433. A very interesting first time as Martin returns to a European circuit where after the Americas Grand Prix he did really well, so you're sort of expecting a lot more positivity from him coming in to this weekend, and I think he's got it. Here comes Luca Marini, 4th at the moment, down on the brakes, really hugging that inside line at turn 13, straightens up the bike right over the line from 4th place. Does he move up? Stays 4th, 1:37.201. 50-50 on the circuit line. I was expecting a little difference, but no, we're sort of having the same mentality we thought we would in this practice session. Di Antonio looking strong. Raul Fernandez goes up into 6th place, 1:37.157. Respectable time. Do enjoy respectable times out here at the moment in MotoGP, because you need to have it sometimes, just in order to keep the mentality at bay. Got a radio message coming through. What have we got here? Oh, this is Bagnaia's accident. So the front, it's exactly the same as this morning at turn 1 when he ran it into the gravel. The rear steps up on him when he's slamming on the brakes, and it's not slowing down the rear. The rear comes down. It's faster in rotation than the front wheel. The bike flips in the barrel several times. The bike is absolutely destroyed. He's going to have to go out on bike 2 for the rest of the session. But yeah, just on the brakes, a bit too hard into the first corner. The rear tyres sort of bumping upwards, and it's still having the mentality. If I demonstrate with this pen, the front dips down, the front end's the red end, the front dips down, the rear keeps coming up, and it just keeps buckling, and it's going faster, the rear tyre, so it's sort of skipping itself along as we go. And we all are aware of what that could lead to sometimes in motorcycle racing. Never good enough. Marco Bezzecchi, though, he's the championship leader coming into this weekend. 81 points to his name, with Jorge Martin on 77. Pedro Acosta's on 60, with Fabio Di Antonio 50. Marc Marquez has 45. Raul Fernandez on 40. Ayagura 37. Alex Marquez 28. Pecco Bagnaia 25. Luca Marini is on 23. And we are working on getting those points available to show you at the start of the qualifying and race sessions, as well as the group orders that we will have to come through. Just taking a look at another monitor we've got up here in the commentary box, and we're seeing the onboards of Fabio Quartararo right now that you're seeing off-board pictures if you're watching at home, and he's struggling a lot with some of the rear of the cars as well. It's not as plain sailing, sorry, rear of the bike coming through. It's not as plain sailing for Quartararo as you think it would be. Over the line then for Fabi, 1:37.580. As case in point proves, he's slightly off the pace to where he needs to be. DG, 1:36.560. He is still the time to beat in this practice hour, the hour that will decide the running order for Q1 and Q2. So it is slightly more important than we have had before coming through. Okay, quickly, let's check in with TNT.
For what the Pirellis might be giving him until then, the end of the season, and on into the next year. Again, usually there is a bit of an agreement between the teams that, okay, I'll let you test if you let us test with this person, so on and so forth. But you never know. In such a crucial year, we have had people dig their heels in before, haven't we?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
So that's another one with these people who are switching teams, whether it be your Fabio Quartararos, they won't have that Pirelli knowledge because they will not test the 850 prototypes.
No.
And they won't be running the thousands on Pirellis.
No, and there's a lot of riders in that position as well. With
Jorge Martin.
Yeah, Acosta. Possibly, Alex Marquez going to KTM.
Yeah. A few riders who...
Jorge Martin over the line, 12th fastest, and he goes to a 1:37.391. So a bit more improvements then from the world champion of a few years ago. Still hopefully going to improve. D'Antonio as well. I'm going to stop talking about that actually because I'm going to look at Bagnaia's bike, and that second one is now being set up with a what looked like soft rear tyre. So it looks like they're going to try and burn that away very early on into this hour in order to make sure that he can get through into the top 10 for qualifying 2. Now that doesn't sound like such a stupid idea because what we've got at the moment is this weird cluster effect of the fact that the track temperature is not changing. It hasn't changed for numerous amounts of hours, so this is going to be very good news. Just to quickly, because I promise you, as Martin does go back on the bike, this is linked to MotoGP, but Formula 1 has announced the return of the Turkish Grand Prix at Istanbul Park. And also, with Liberty Media now owning both Formula 1 and MotoGP, it is looking incredibly likely that MotoGP is going to return to Turkey starting maybe from 2027, but certainly it looks like it will be from 2028. So it looks like MotoGP might be heading back to one of the best circuits made in the 21st century. Really, really looking forward to Formula 1 being back and really hoping that MotoGP can go back. It is a super circuit, and we'll see how that goes coming up over the next couple of months as the calendar for 2027 gets organised. Right, this is now down. This is now down at turn 1. And it is Jorge Martin on the brakes, down from 301 kilometers an hour all the way to 84 kilometers an hour, slamming on the brakes, and that's how it's supposed to be. The front tyres decelerating and braking, the rear brakes also acting in conjunction, slowing the bike down to the same precipice as what it will be needed in the corner, and that is how an apex is supposed to be taken. It is not working out 100% correctly, though, for Pecco Bagnaia. Oh dear, in many respects it is going to be. It has been a surprising couple of actions between them all. Times are improving as this session goes on. 42 minutes to go. D'Antonio from Alex Marquez at the moment. I've got more trackside.
Brad Binder, meanwhile, it's a really solid morning for Brad. Let's see what he's got this afternoon. Let's switch down to pit lane. I mentioned that quirk a moment ago, and she's down there talking to Ducati Lenovo team boss Davide Tardozzi.
Davide, a fast crash for Pecco to start this session, but he came back to the box pretty quickly. How is he, and what did he say? How did he explain that one?
Yeah, he said that he was almost straight, and when he was straight, he lost the front. I mean, there is not so many explanations, probably make a mistake, obviously, but it's a shame because we have a comparison to do, and we should find something to help him to be faster, but anyway. We will do this tomorrow morning.
How How useful has the 3-week break been back in Bologna? Has there been any changes, any addition to the bike?
Oh, sure, Gigi and the guys thought about a lot of things regarding the investigation of the data that we did it for all the Ducati riders. So I think that we have some clear idea about the problem, but the problem is not a problem, is how to be faster to try to chase Aprilia, because at this moment it seems that they are faster than us. But anyway, I think that we will test something on Monday that can help, but we have also something during the weekend to test in a safe way, we can say.
Thanks, Davide.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to Nat. This is Pecco Bagnaia. We've got a replay here down to Danny Pedrosa corner, and again on the nose of the bike, just pushed wide.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it?
Comparison there, that was what I found interesting. So they're obviously running back to back with something. What? I'm looking on the bike.
It's hard to tell,
Side
isn't
pods.
it?
I mean, the side pods there. People ran them in the States. So interesting to know what that would be. Michael's made his way back from the edge of the racetrack. So Davide frustrated because Pecco was running a comparison. What do you think that could be if there's something they're looking to get some data for? Again, doesn't look right, doesn't it?
No, I'm guessing it's something with the electronic strategy to control the negative torque in a way that Pecco likes, and it's not quite working at the moment, just to give him the natural float into the turn, which when he can execute it, it's sensational to watch and ultra effective on the track. It was his strong point 2 years ago, and he could really squash the front tyre, feel what it's doing, but if the rear's kicking and when it regains traction, it pushes and overloads the front, and then you get those tuck scenarios. So yeah, work to do there, and as Davide said, Monday test will have some parts to potentially evaluate and improve, but difficult at this stage.
There's something there. That rear contact, isn't there? Or the rear, how the rear is pushing the front, and that the way of braking into the corner compared between Pecco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez, as Pedro Acosta does something similar down at Danny Pedrosa corner. Fabio Di Giannantonio alluded as such, didn't he, in his debrief that he did with the media yesterday, talking about, look, he does different strange things on the motorcycle. We've heard it so many times, trying to emulate those. It's difficult, but it feels like there's something in terms of, you know, getting that in that phase, because that's what Alex Marquez talked about yesterday, that phase, not initial brake, but then the gradual, from there, the trail braking phase at the corner.
Yeah, the game has changed in the last 2 years thanks to these seat wings. The amount of downforce they get and the assistance in deceleration is huge. I've spoken to a few of the engineers, and it even surprised them how much more deceleration they get when the seat wings are on and they get rear contact, and then they can use the engine braking to stop the bike. So Pecco did a lot of that with front tyre squash, bottom in the fork, and using his innate ability to do that a few years ago. But now there is a bit of assistance on the aero body for a lot of these riders. The bikes have evolved to use the grip from the rear tyre to stop, and for some reason Ducati can't quite give Pecco that feeling now with the combination of engine character from the developed engine last year, the change in aero, and obviously the change in tyre as they always evolve a little bit year on year. So it's just missing something for Pecco to extract that maximum in the braking.
Fastest rider on track still Fabio Di Giannantonio. It was his second lap out of the pits. His second run, he came back in quite quickly at the start of this session. KTM's following him in Acosta, comparing themselves. This will be interesting here, won't it? This is where the KTM look at losing out on that acceleration phase through Sito Pon's corner.
That's a lot, isn't it? There, he's lost, what, 3 or 4 bike lengths there, just on acceleration.
And it's a fast corner, isn't it, as well?
Turn 5, yeah.
Marc Marquez goes up into 3rd spot. So it's a Ducati 1-2-3 again. Digi, and then the Marquez brothers. Alex from Marc.
Then a Honda and a KTM and a Honda. and then your first Aprilia, Bsky in 7th.
Ralph Fernandez has found a little bit more this weekend. He's up there in 8th. Ayagura didn't look great this morning. He's up to 9th. Quartararo rounding out the top 10 on the Yamaha. Not sure if that's going to stay, although he absolutely loves this place.
Did you hear what Pedro was saying in the break, talking about the amount of races there are now, and we're going to potentially see riders retiring younger. Burnout is going to be a thing, and it is, isn't it? You can't argue with that. 44 races a year. That's before you've done one PR event, one test. I mean, the season started in February. It's going to run till the end of November.
It's the injuries and toll as well, that all that takes.
Well, it's the fact that on Friday afternoon, like now, they've got about another 20 minutes left. Then they're going to have to ride to their absolute limit. Like it or not, ready or not, setting or not. That's the same for everyone. Sometimes you go over the limit and then you're into an airbag, so yeah, it's tough. It's not what it used to be, the sport, when you think about, and you don't have to go back that long really, where it was a sort of a 16-round championships, 17-round championship.
But people were retiring young for other reasons then, weren't they?
Yeah.
We spoke to Kevin Schwantz recently,
Yeah.
and, you know, there's someone who
Retired at 31, Kevin.
And how long was his career? What was it? Nine
Yeah.
years at the top now already?
Yeah,
I mean,
that was fascinating, that. And you didn't quite realise, but it was different back then because there were fewer rounds, but then they had unlimited testing. So they had like a 6-month season, but then you literally was never off the bike all through winter, out in Malaysia and places like that, just doing lap after lap. And obviously that was back in the 2-stroke era, which there were a lot more high sides, no traction control.
Frankie Morbidelli had a decent morning. Sits down in 13th in the championship.
Now we're seeing out there at the moment an interesting little run around for Franco Morbidelli in this one, as we continue on with the circuit Jerez Anglia Nieto here in Spain. No way. I have just been told that MotoGP live timings are finally on demand. Yes! Well done, Dorna. Well done, Liberty Media. MotoGP live timings are now on demand from this year. Do you know what that means, everybody? We can do stuff after the event and look at some analysis. We've been waiting for that for ages. Yes. Get in. Very, very, very happy about that. Well, I'm going to have a quick look at that, actually. That is already the best news. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's all here. All the sessions. Well, I was smiling, happy boy now. That's amazing. I've been waiting years for that. That means if there's something that's happened in a session, we can go back and look at it for you. Well, I am a fan of that. Thank you very, very much. So let's take a look quickly. This morning's time, 1:36.954. This afternoon already from Digi, 1:36.560. So he's faster than the time this morning in equally interesting conditions, which I find entertaining, especially for Zark, especially for Digi, who could be on course for a couple of victories. Okay, half an hour to go in this session. Megan Birch is back with us tomorrow, by the way. So watch out for that. She'll be with us for qualifying and the Tissot Sprint plus the Grand Prix. So there's a lot more yes attitudes coming through. Still Digi on top. That's going to be a remarkable factor. Let's hope it continues that way. Digi 136.560. Let's take a look as well at the standings. It's quite something, with Bezzecchi being so far up at the front. It's an interesting prospect coming into it. Alex Marquez on the run as well. Stronger and stronger and stronger. Digi's a 136.560 at the moment. We're watching Alex Marquez down on the brakes. Hear me? Yes, you can. Sorry. I don't know if it's the lead or the headset. Oh, yeah, there we go. I think there's a problem with the bus mixer. Just on the lead, sometimes you go near it and press it wrong. It just has a little bit of a moment. Just avoid the button, really. But yeah, DG, 136.560. Alex Marquez, 46 thousandths of a second off. Then it's Marc Marquez. He's a further 2 tenths off in this one. We're watching now Fabio Quartararo, who scored his first win here at Jerez. First win here, Spanish Grand Prix in 2020, the opener of the season. Won it when Marc Marquez obviously had his accident. Oh, and Quartararo nearly has an accident down at turn 1 as well. Just a slow one after the lap, turns into the right-hander uphill. Off comes the left leg. As Thomas Malbant there, Fabio Quartararo's manager, watching on down in the Yamaha garage. Also looks like we should talk about his teammate Alex Rins, who looks like he is out of Yamaha at the end of the season. Could be out of MotoGP at the end of the season as well, which is not a great news. Silly season very much kicking off as we start the European season here. As Marc Marquez we watch on his third, well, run 2, he was looking quite competitive actually. So there's a couple of things looking good for him. Finally, Bagnaia comes back out on the circuit after having an issue earlier on with that crash at the first corner. It's looking okay at the bottom of the timing sheets though. Still, the Spanish Grand Prix is a legendary affair for motorcycle racers. It's one of the best on the calendar. Best race of the season, in my opinion, as well, actually. There's always something happening. The tight, twisty nature. Many people said, is Jerez still a motorcycle world championship event circuit? Is it too narrow now? I think it's just on the cusp, isn't it, of what's ethically good. They've done a lot of work here at Jerez. We've got, of course, Jerez, Catalonia, Aragon and Valencia, 4 Spanish rounds, which is only right considering that what was Dorna is now MSEC. They are a Spanish organisation, but Liberty Media coming in, they really want more than 1 American round in the championship. Rumours swirling around that we could be heading back to Indianapolis on the road course, obviously, but that could be an amazing opportunity. Everybody loved that race as well. It was often quite fun. Rumours also swirling around that we could be having another circuit in America that could be taking over opportunities. But the problem is, where would you put it? There's not many that could host it. You'd think, oh, Road America could do it, but Road America's having a tough time of it with barriers along the outside. But then you've got Australia coming through as well. Yellow flag sector 4. So it's gone down. Oh, hello. And that is Jorge Martin in his second accident of the day. This is down to the hairpin. Don't cross the track, Jorge. What are you doing? He's got Quartararo coming through. Jorge Martin has just crossed the circuit. Now, you're not allowed to do that. It was under braking down into turn 13. The front just dropped away from him. It's ripped off some of the aero plating of his Aprilia. Not a bad accident, but Martin is about to be seriously reprimanded because he ran across the racetrack in order to walk back up the pit lane entry. You're not allowed to cross a live circuit. Well, I can already sense that we're going to have a monumental attack to Martin done by Simon Crafar. That might as well actually be a bigger penalty than you think. You are not allowed under any circumstances to cross a live racetrack. That's exactly what he's just gone and done. In terms of the accident, it's a simple down the brakes, and as soon as he's turned in, the front's just dropped away from him. That's the second time it happened. It happened on an outlap with a cold tyre this morning at the end of the practice 1 session. So not the best opportunity, not the greatest either, but that is why Martin in severe trouble. Lap times then being cancelled. Alex Marquez holding up his hand to Pecco Bagnaia. Bagnaia will go through, and the yellow flags have been rescinded, so this lap time will count for the 3-time world champion. Just having a little bit of a slide around at the back is Pecco. 22 and 23, MotoGP champion, 2-time Premier Class champion, 3-time motorcycle world champion. He won the 2018 Moto2 championship. So he's a 2-time Premier Class, 1-time Junior Class, but they're all world championships, but just not in the premier form of motorcycle racing, which is MotoGP. Digi still looking strong. This seems to be his type of weekend as Martin walks back down the pit lane. Understandably, he's going to be a little bit annoyed with himself on that front. Just move the green screen curtain out of the way because I need to see if anybody walks in the door, because Megan might join us. We don't know at this point. She's at university right now as well, so she might be back during the session. She's writing her dissertation, so it's the big one. It's due in a few weeks. It's due beginning of May. So Megan will be with us this weekend, but in a reduced role. So you've got just me to play with up here in the box. A lot looking forward to actually as well with what we've got coming up. So I hope you enjoy the motorsport action. Digi, still good? No, red sector time coming in from Fermin Aldeguer, 13.140. So Aldeguer's got a little bit of traction time. Let's have a look at Diego Moreira as he comes online. Aldeguer goes up into 7th. And Diego Moreira goes into 19th place. That bike, though, was wiggling around quite a lot. Just under braking. And it was woo, 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 woo around. Ayagura for the Trackhouse Aprilias. Just watching him now, looking rather subdued. Davide Brivio says, Ayers told us that he's not continuing with us next year. It is, let's have a word straight down with the VR46
But I bet it was nice to see Fabio and Frankie both up there at the top this morning. Was it a productive morning?
Yeah, it's very important to start like this, no? Because always we know that we are talking that the real championship start in Europe. And always you have that thoughts in your mind, but we are very happy because today Frankie and Dilla feel very good with the bike, and the first step is done.
We know this has been a winning track for Ducati over recent years, but like you say, how key is this round in assessing where everybody's at?
Yeah, this track is normally for Ducati was very, very good. But also in our case, I have to say that it wasn't the best track for us. So this is important, no? This is important because now we are fast, we are competitive, and it's very important because then we will arrive to some tracks that we like it a lot. And at the moment, I think it's very important for us to continue like this.
Fabio's still the fastest man out there at the moment. He's been the best performing Ducati, and he had a decent race here last year.
Yeah. At the moment, we are the fastest Ducati, but we know Mark and Pecco are very, very fast. We forget about them because always when you are fighting with them, it's always hard. But anyway, at the moment we are very confident. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for Pablo. Not easy conditions down there to do an interview down with it all going off, but it's all pointing in the right direction at the moment. But to keep your feet on the ground at this stage of a racing weekend, still a lot can happen.
It's your first time attack, Gav.
Yeah.
Zarco.
And Mia's on one as well, and that's interesting because as Zarco goes third, we just saw the comment from Davide Brivio that he's made that as Mia goes fourth, in fact, Ayagura has told us he won't be continuing with us next year. The rumour is he's going to be this man's teammate at Yamaha, which is interesting in itself with him being a company Honda man throughout his career. But Brivio's saying that he needed an experienced rider ready to win races. We looked at each other, and there'd been rumours about Juan Mir, hadn't there, down there. Davide Brivio worked with him at Suzuki, won the World Championship with him at Suzuki, and could be a direction that he's looking at.
Yeah.
I mean, won the lottery, I thought he would have got that, Juan Mir.
Yeah. Yeah, Mir would be well happy. I think it would be a partnership that would work really well. I mean, he's not a winning machine, isn't Mir, is he, really, when you look at it? He's only won one race.
Yeah.
But
he's a machine at something else.
He's a crashing machine.
Turns out a lot of crash damage.
That's not to say that he wouldn't click. If you think he loved the inline four on Suzuki, the more, let's say, corner speed style that the Aprilia appears to.
But he was always a rear brake man, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was always a
very
demon
much
on the
late
brake.
racing, yeah.
He didn't crash much in the Suzuki,
No.
if at all. One of the seasons, I think he rarely crashed. So yeah, it's a punt, but you could
do a lot worse.
Yeah,
I mean,
We could get POU on it, Michael.
that would be doing a heck of a lot worse.
We could create crash damage and be slow at the same time. Well, I'm thinking for himself.
Of course.
Speaking for yourself as well on that one, coming into it. But yeah, Ayagura not going to be racing with Trackhouse next year. Trackhouse said now it's time to get a race winner ready to be in contention to win races. And I think that's a very interesting sort of call on the board. I will take that every day of the week because he is a cool, calm, collected race winner. And Ayagura, well, he's a champion, isn't he, from Moto2? So he is a world champion, and he's going to do great things in these series. Just watching now as well, Di Gianantonio looking stronger and stronger. 0.044 down at the moment on the overall best time. So yeah, there's still a few bits to work out and still a few bits of time to sort. But yeah, I think overall it's going well.
Because you've got to compare him to Ayagura and Bezzecchi and Martin.
Yeah. He's 6th in the championship.
Yeah, but 10th and 8th.
Sounds
10th and 8th.
Awful start to the year, lying 6th in the championship. He should be out of a ride.
10th and 8th is not great results, are they? When,
Sixth in the
when it's
championship.
gone 1 and 2 in both those races.
Get sacked.
I mean, the
1 and 2
job is it's the championship position that sort of tells you how your season's gone.
16th on the grid. 13th.
Yeah, worked his way forward really well.
Yeah, after 22 races, not after 3. He won't be at Trackhouse next year.
He's still 6th in the championship.
He won't be at Trackhouse. Do you think he'll be at
Where's he going?
Trackhouse?
Well,
Do you think he'll be at Trackhouse?
Where's he going?
I could see him rocking up in a satellite team somewhere else.
KTM. Yeah, I'm going to say, like, that's the reality.
He's been there. He's been there. He won't go back to KTM.
No, so there is nowhere for him.
Burn that bridge.
That'd be hard if they, in a way. But then, who has the golden ticket? We said it earlier about Alex Rins. It looks like it's going to be his last year in MotoGP. To answer your question, do I think he'd be there? No, I don't think he'd be there. No, I know.
Why?
Well, I think, and this is literally just guessing, they want to win races, don't they?
He's won one. He won it last year.
Yeah, true.
Won it in Australia.
Yeah, in fact, they should keep it. I think they will.
Are they gonna?
Oh, yeah.
Martin.
Funny, isn't it? You'd have thought this track would have suited Martin, but clearly not.
Scrapper's track, isn't it? Not happened for him here. to get back out there after that crash. Find something to get inside that top 10. Look at it. Pekka Bagnaia, it is on the edge of the 10. The Hondas are going 3 tyres here, aren't they? They're having 3 goes at it.
So important, isn't it? Like we've said. Not sure about that helmet design. It's just a little bit too busy for me, that one.
Fashion Guru's back. Next episode of Vogue with Neil Hodgson on there. I can see you.
Next episode of Vogue definitely will not include Neil Hodgson. I think we can sort of all breathe a sigh of relief on that one coming into it. But yeah, just coming up to the com box. Change the camera angle a little bit so I can sit down. It's a very tricky session to sort of keep up to time with sometimes. Let's just sort that angle out a little bit. There we go. And here they come then with 15 minutes left on the clock. Out they will all rise. And now the tensions and battles begin because, as you know and as I know, MotoGP is never as simple as it looks. So there's always going to be something to change, something that will just catch their eye, and it's a nightmare situation. It's a nightmare scenario quite a lot of the time. So we are going to be witness to a very weird and peculiar event. So, Fabio Di Giannantonio, he's the fastest at the moment, 1:36.267. Then it's Alex Marquez, Johan Zarco, Juan Mir, Marquez, Luca Marini, Pedro Costa, Fermin Aldeguer, Marco Bezzecchi. Need to turn this brightness up a little bit. There we go. And then it's going to be Pecco Bagnaia. Ralph Fernandez just outside of that by fractions. Fractionally 17 thousandths of a second. That's all that separates Bagnaia to Ralph Fernandez. And that 17 thousandths is not going to be taken lightly. You know that, I know that. That is not something that is usually a, okay, just see how it goes in the future remark. It is going to be blood, sweat and tears in order to get that one correct. I think it's going to be fun. I hope you're going to enjoy it as well back at home. I mean, look at some of the other messages that are coming through. Yeah, they're going to see the same thing. Watching Igo now, looking good. Medium front, soft rear compound tyre. I know where he is. Coming out into turn 5 now. The long, sweet right-hander down to the hairpin at turn 6. Rises uphill as well at turn 5, so it's easy to get it wrong. Turn 6, the dry sack hairpin. Might be familiar if you're a Formula 1 fan tuning in for the first time. It's where Michael Schumacher made the move on Jacques Villeneuve that almost put Villeneuve out of the World Championship. You know, Villeneuve dived back on the inside, Schumacher turned in, and then it was all hell breaking loose. The famous, "You've hit the wrong part of him, my friend," from Martin Brundle. 30 years next year. Sometimes it is insane. There's a rain cloud right above the circuit that I've just noticed, and I'm trying to look and see. The track temperature hasn't changed, but I'm looking for humidity, 69%. I don't think there's much chance of weather coming in. No, neither am I. No sign of that weather anyway. Come on, get it right. Ralph Fernandez, 1:37.048, still P9. A lot more closing in on the factors than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a little bit of a slow affair, but no. It really has been quite close. Aguirre 5th. 1:36.684. Here comes Morbidelli. Franco was 15th. Can he break through? Yes, he does, to 10th place. Breakthrough. 1:36.971. So that's good news with 12 minutes to go of this session, because the more time that gets eked in for Morbidelli, the closer he'll get to Digi. And the two teammates need as much data as possible to make the correct judgment that it's right. Here comes Pecco Bagnaia, sorry, here comes Brad Binder out of the last corner over the line, and Binder goes up to 7th place, 136.814. So that kicks out then Franco Morbidelli. Marc Marquez goes up into 3rd, 136.6. So again, we're having differential on times. Bang! Again, Binder. That was a super lap. Look at this though from Marini and Aldeguer 3rd. Marini 4th. Raul Fernandez going to jump up into 5th position now. And Alex Marquez goes top. 136.201. Much better lap time. Marco Bezzecchi is going to be next over the line. Does he find something in the slipstreams? Over the line for Bezzecchi. 7th at the moment. Time's not improving that much for him. Doesn't improve. Acosta, he's up by 2.5 tenths of a second. 0.245 in the middle split. Over the line now. Is it quicker? Morbidelli, 13th, breaks in to 10th again. 136.643. So they are finding, once again, the sort of right basis for competitive control, the right timings around it, but they're not finding the overall grip in that last sector. They're all losing time there. Look at Binder, lost a lot of time. 3 tenths down in sectors 2 and 3. Over the line. Still 12th. Next. Marquez, 7th. That's Mark. Time's improving. Oh, and Bagnaia still goes into 11th position. So they're sort of 50-50, aren't they, at the moment? So again, just holding it back. Alex Marquez, though, looks strong as he comes over the line. Is it quicker or not for Alex Marquez? Time will be the factor. 135.704. Spectacularly half a second faster than Di Antonio. That was something else.
Yeah, and he's going to get time to put another tyre in as well. Not that he'll need to.
It's half a second clear of the field.
Yeah, that's going to definitely get him through to qualifying 2 tomorrow.
Oh. Well, it's a Bastianini. Just having a look in the back of shot because Pedro Costa's on a lap. And it's Enea Bastianini who has just gone top 10 with that lap. Here we go with Pedro. Through Crivier, now Ferrari. Binder comes down into the pits. This is going to be tight here for Pedro.
Yeah.
Is he going to have the grunt up the hill on the KTM to get to the line and knock out Bastianini here? No, 15th for Pedro Acosta. It is not working for Pedro at the moment.
Yeah, you look how far off the KTMs are, though. You've got Bastianini in 10th, but it's 0.8 off. Well, I guess a lot of it is because Alex Marquez is half a second faster than everybody.
Fabio Quartararo goes into 16 slots in behind Acosta.
It's a good lap time on the Yamaha.
13 riders within a second. That 13th place is Francesco Bagnaia.
Yeah, Bagnaia in P13. That is the shocker. This is Pedro Acosta following his teammate Brad Binder, and Acosta's moment down at turn number 6 at Drysack. Just the rear unsteady. That's getting caught up in the speed a bit too much and just straight out of there. It's such a close high side. I'm really surprised that he was able to save it. That was such an amazing save, honestly. Incredible, incredible.
Against it here to get through into Q2. Martin back out onto the circuit. Pecco Bagnaia coming up with a plan with Christian Gabarini. Still alongside. Data engineer. Motorist Madrid down there with Enea Bastianini. Just under 7 to go. Bastianini, having run through the gravel, made it back okay. And he rounds out the 10. As it stands, it's Alex Marquez, Fabio Di Gianantonio, Johan Zarco, Aldeguer, Marini, Raul Fernandez, Marc Marquez, Marco Bezzecchi, Ayagura and Enea Bastianini. Missing out, Bagnaia, Costa, Martin. They're the headlines. Alex Marquez. This was some lap, wasn't it?
Yeah. Real. Like I say, all season he's been nowhere. He said the bike feels better than last year's, which is hard to believe.
He says I look on the data and it's faster in most places.
But the results have just not been there at all. So impressive last year, finishing second in the world.
Right, here we go. Moment of truth at the end of the session. I always get a bit nervous with the exit of pit lane here at Jerez.
Especially when there's a few starting their first fast laps. They've all already done their outlap, and not ideal.
Originally, pit lane here was on the inside, wasn't it? They had the building on the inside, didn't they? When it was very first, I think they originally had something.
Still closing, still finding this time. 5 minutes to go. So Martin, 2-lap old slick front, 2-lap old slick rear. Jorge is currently 19th. Now this graphic says medium front, soft rear, but we just saw it was soft. So unless Aprilia are really desperate to get him in, one system's wrong. It still says medium soft on our timing screens. We'll see if that updates. It hasn't at the moment. 4 minutes 46 to go. Martin really is pushing though. Full commendments for how hard he's pushing here. It cannot be easy. One wrong mistake and you're sort of out of it for the whole run. Still hard then into the last corner. It's got Bagnaia just ahead of him. There's a dark cloud now over the circuit. I'm really starting to think if we've got rain incoming. Jorge Martin goes 12th, misses out, but improved does go Ayagura up into 3rd place. 1:36.4 is his overall time, and that's very impressive for Ay, who is leaving Trackhouse at the end of the season. Still got a lot of races to go though in this long championship run. Martin now beginning another push lap. Bagnaia just behind him. Sorry, Bagnaia in front of him. Martin behind by literally about 1, 2, 3 bike lengths. They're inside the same second of each other as they enter dry sack. Turn 6, the right-hand hairpin. Marc Marquez is a bit further up the lap. He's coming through into turns 9 and 10 now. Now he's through turn 10. Then it'll be 11 and 12 as Luca Marini improves ahead of Fermin Aldeguer to go into P5 with 3 minutes to go of this session. Bagnaia, 1:07.962 is his 3rd sector time. He's down by 0.3 of a second. He's estimated 7th. Martin is estimated to go P3 at the moment. Marco Bezzecchi also estimated to go into P3 as Aldeguer goes ahead, back again of Ayagura. He goes 3rd now overall. Raul Fernandez goes into P7. Here comes Pecco Bagnaia as Marc Marquez goes into P8. Bagnaia next over the line, and he goes into 2nd position. Where's Jorge Martin going to be right behind? Martin goes into 5th. Morbidelli goes into 9th. Bezzecchi will be next over the line as well. He goes P2. Bastianini goes P7. Juan Mir only manages 13th in that little gaggle of bikes that was over the line. And that is the Martinator running on the exit of turn 1. Is that enough? As Quartararo comes in now from 17th. 2 minutes to go in practice to decide the running order for Q1 and Q2. Only 15th for Fabio Quartararo, a track where 6 years ago he became a MotoGP winner for the first time at the season opening COVID-affected 2020 round. Still pushing hard, still trying to find the right momentum in order to bring in traction. Ayagura has now got down to 8th position after being 3rd at the start of that previous run. Alex Marquez is on top. I think he's going to be safe. He's half a second clear to Marco Bezzecchi. Then we get Bagnaia. Then we get DG. Over the line this time comes Pedro Acosta. He's 17th at the moment and improves up into P12. Binder goes into P16 as well. Raul Fernandez improves up into 5th position. 1:36.282. Here comes Marc Marquez. He's 15th, improves up into 3rd, 1:36.227. So Marc pushes Ayagura right down into 10th position. He's on the cusp, but I improves up into 4th place. Juan Mir goes 11th, just outside with 50 seconds to go. What a run. What a run and what a rush. There's a lot to look forward to in this one. A lot of pain is sort of in the precipice. They need to find out the correct deltas and hopefully have the correct runaround. Alex Rins is boxed. Quartararo doesn't improve. He'll start his last lap time. 14 seconds to go. Now 10. Right, here we go then, folks. This is the end of practice. Who is going to be the top 10 through automatically into qualifying number 2 for the Grand Prix of Spain, our first MotoGP race back in a considerable amount of years. Right, over the line comes Pedro Acosta. He's 15th at the moment. Can he break through into the top 10? Over the line, takes the checkered flag. No, he can't. Neither can Binder. So the two KTMs, 15th and 16th. Marini goes as well into, goes 13th. Zarco goes 12th. Razgatliolu's in 18th. Miller 19th. I'm not seeing much improvement here on the overall decider of things. That's okay though, we weren't expecting miracles. Through they come once more. Marc Marquez confirmed in 4th position. 6th for Bagnaia, 5th for Ayagura. So they'll just hold it back. I don't think we're going to see anyone improving. The lap times are just keeping deltas together. I think that's it. The top 10 have set their lap times. Quartararo's not improving. Neither's Rins. Well, Diego Moreira might improve. 9/10 back. This might just get him up into ahead of Quartararo for 16th place. Well, let's check it out then. Over the line comes Diego Moreira. 19th. Behind top right Razgatliolu. 1.2 seconds down as we get our practice starts now at the exit of turn 5. Alex Marquez tops the race he won a year ago and became a Grand Prix winner at. Alex Marquez, 1:35.704. Di Giannantonio in 2nd, Bezzecchi 3rd, Marquez 4th. That's Marc. Ayagura 5th, Bagnaia 6th, Raul Fernandez in 7th, 8th for Fermin Aldeguer, 9th Jorge Martin, 10th Nea Bastianini. They will go automatically into Q2. Q1, we'll see Juan Mir, Johan Zarco, Luca Marini, Franco Morbidelli, Pedro Acosta, Brad Binder, Fabio Quartararo, top right Razgatliolu, Diego Moreira, Jack Miller, Alex Rins, Lorenzo Salvadori, and Augusto Fernandez. They take it down into 23rd position. Well, what an exciting practice session that was. Let's check in with TNT before we head out from this one.
Morbidelli is the only non-Ducati inside,
which is
in Q1.
How the season's been a little bit.
Pedro Acosta in Q1 for the first time since Silverstone last year.
Wow.
That's a blow. Still, I'd fancy him to go through. But down in 15th, that is not a foregone conclusion.
It's not at all, because Zarco's been fast.
It's the second half
weekend.
of the lap, wasn't it, for the KTM?
Yeah.
Marco Vizecchi's just looking like he's getting on with his business, isn't he? Haven't seen much of him out on the racetrack.
No, we haven't seen much of him or Mark in that session, really. It's quite a quiet one for the championship protagonists, but yeah, Bezecchi, if he's that close on a Friday, although see Alex has got the margin up front, you think Bezecchi's going to improve overnight?
Lorenzo Savadori just in the back of shot. Big test for him coming up this week. 8:50, getting on track here. And a private test later on this week. The whole field is out on Monday.
Don't you feel like Ducati seem to be quite late to the party with the 850 test? They had their first test the other day, about a week or so ago. Like, looks like Honda are well into, you know, they were.
You don't know though how much has been.
No,
but yeah.
I just saw when I saw it, I thought, wow, it looks like they're probably the last manufacturer to be out on the track. Also, we've said this before, not that he's obviously doing an incredible job, but don't you feel like they need a younger test rider, maybe someone a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Faster.
It's your hole, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
You can fill it in.
You enjoy yourself down there, Neil.
I actually did hear some rumours of that Pirro was potentially looking at a position to replace Davide Tardozzi when he retires, and they were looking for a new candidate, a younger, faster, potentially test rider, which makes sense, but they will keep him in the fold for his knowledge and a bit of test riding in the background as well.
That'd be a good job to get.
Who did they dangle that in front of?
Steve Dace has said, Iannone. No.
Here, worse or stranger things have happened, let's say.
Yeah.
But
maybe that's the announcement. Did you say he's got an announcement to make?
Apparently. So,
big announcement, I believe.
Yeah.
No, that could be it, actually.
I don't think it will be. I don't think he left on the necessarily best of terms. I think it was necessarily bad terms, but he was expected to stay, and they didn't keep him.
Have you heard any rumours, Michael?
I haven't actually.
Make some today.
Yeah, might as well.
Dangling it in front of Buliga.
Buliga, yeah. Could be.
I mean, surely he feels...
He'd want a race, obviously, but with this new potential for a reserve rider and film
Michael
rider.
Dunlop.
What an amazing session. Join us tomorrow for all the action across JB Sports and JB Motorsports 2 for the MotoGP Spanish Grand Prix. Thanks for company today. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.